I'm gonna start recording this because funny shit keeps happening.
Oh, yo, that's so
Oh,
much better. Yo,
is
that's so much better. Holy shit.
Pretty
Whatever you
great.
just did, I mean, it's better.
it's still not great, but it's a lot better than it was.
Yeah,
No,
I
dude,
went to
it's
the I went
it's
to the
worth
hot
it.
spot and then went to the hot spot right as that happened. You were like, "Oh, that's so much better." So you guys first, you're me. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, there we go. It's finally looks like it's caught up.
Yeah.
All right. I started recording a few seconds ago. Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 6. We got something a little more special today. We got Matt here like always, but then we have our boy Trey Gladwell. We have known Trey since high school, played a lot of fantasy football with him, spent a lot of time with him when we are younger.
Speak for
Fellow Commanders
yourself,
fan
boy.
like
I know this dude
myself.
since seventh grade.
Really, I don't think I met Trey
So long
until
time.
freshman or sophomore year.
In
Probably,
high school, but yeah, I'm back for a long
yeah,
time.
probably whenever we had girlfriends in the same friend group. That's probably when you started hanging out with him, Charlie.
Yep.
Probably.
Yep, yeah, because you guys were a year older than me. But
Yeah. Well, Trey was 2 years older than you.
oh,
Anyways,
that's
You guys
right.
know who?
That's right. Trey's old as shit.
He's an old one. Anyways,
Anyway, yeah, we got a little bit different of an episode planned today. Another big disappointment for all of us. Trey being another Commanders fan like myself. We lost to the fucking Bears. Matt and his Cowboys, they got absolutely dusted by the 49ers.
that's why I'm back in the closet. I don't deserve to be in the diner.
That's fair. Trey, why don't you take it for a second? Tell everybody about yourself. And most of the viewers already know us anyway.
Yeah, I went to high school with these two guys for I guess 4 years. I went to college in Ohio. I know Matt went to West Virginia, but it's rough a little bit. I'm down in Florida right now, flying. I'm in aviation. But yeah, depressed Cowboys fan or Redskins fan, Commanders fan. Sorry, we had a bunch of us in here. But yeah, nothing's new with my team.
Yeah.
That's
That's right. Let me ask you something. Try not using your AirPods for audio right quick. I just want to see if it's any difference at all.
Yeah, try switching to your
Okay.
Just
computer
just a
microphone.
regular computer mic. I just want to see if it's any different. If it's not, then do whatever's more comfortable.
How's that?
I think it
It's
sounds
probably
Is that
better.
better?
yeah,
Yes, that's
yeah,
better.
that's a lot better.
Yeah, these
So,
are
yeah.
the screens. Apparently, the quality's supposed to be good.
Yeah, I don't know.
we're going to be battling some technical difficulties here today. But
This is a budget of 0 podcasts, everybody. So just there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry about it.
The only thing we put into this is our time.
Yeah, I'll let y'all go because
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we need
enjoy this for a second, and then I'm gonna have to go through all of my pain and misery, and then
yeah. So, very rough week for the Commanders. You know, obviously we just came off a hairline loss to the Eagles. Fan base is feeling, we still lost, but fan base is still feeling really good. We come into Thursday Night Football absolutely expecting to dominate the Bears. You know, at this point they're 0-4, worst offense in the league, worst defense in the league, and the entire first half they just absolutely dominated us. I mean, our secondary was non-existent, and by the end of the game, 40-20 to the 0-4 Bears. 3 straight losses for the Commanders, and it's fucking horrible. I'm gonna start with this. It's time for Jack Del Rio to go. It's time for Ron Rivera to go. Honestly, at this point, what difference does it make? Make Eric Bieniemy the head coach. He deserves to be a head coach. And Josh Harris should sell the team while he still can. It's
Start
bad.
getting the chance going again. Sell the team.
Dude, I don't know if you got to go that far. Good God. How
I
the
mean,
fuck
when you
that?
lose to the Bears like that, the thought at least has to run through your mind.
5th week of ownership, and he's got to sell the team.
Literally.
I mean, Magic Johnson, who's also, a part of the Harris group, so he's a co-owner of the Commanders, he even tweeted out about just how bad it was, like just how embarrassing it was for him to be their owner, which is understandable. I mean, it is not very often that I will look at the Commanders and go, our offense was actually kind of the only bright spot. And really in particular, only two people. Sam Howell, best game of his career. I mean, he had an absolute monster game. I mean, damn near 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, and honestly, that interception kind of iffy on being totally his fault. Curtis Samuel 100% could have moved towards that ball and stopped that interception from happening, but by far his best game, especially him putting it on how many times he got sacked by the Bears. A little bit of a
quick
bright
question.
spot.
Sorry. Again, this is y'all's team, but I think that game was better than the Eagles game.
Sam Howell wise, stat wise, yes.
Okay.
As a full team, no.
I'm gonna chime in there. I think he still played a great game. When we run 55 straight passing plays since the second quarter, it's still impressive. But it's the Bears versus. So even though maybe stat-wise might not be as good, and he was a little bit more dominant with the Bears, that's the Eagles defense who's very good. So I would probably say, because of how good the Eagles are, the best game for Sam was against the Eagles. With it being the Bears, I was watching the game and I was like, I probably couldn't name you most people that are starting on that defense right now. Their entire defense was like second string guys, and even the starters, it's not pretty for them.
Oh, I don't know anybody on the Bears defense. I mean, they had
really.
5 or 6 sacks. Who was on their D line? Who was on the Bears D line?
I couldn't tell you.
How do we give up
Sorry.
5 or 6 sacks to a D line of a bunch of people you never even heard of?
Did you see the video of the Bears sending one of their linebackers in on a blitz, and Gates just moves to the left and he comes straight in?
Yeah, and he just lets him right in. I swear to God, Nick Gates is afraid to play football.
See, when we got Nick Gates, I wasn't upset about it because I thought it was going to be a backup. I thought he was going to be a guy that was going to replace Wes Schweitzer, who is always our backup, who came in when the starter always gets hurt with our team. I thought that was going to be his role. I was like, okay, he's solid depth for the O-line. Now he's our starting center. From Chase Roulier, which I know he was always hurt, but he was a stud, to Nick Gates. And Sadiq Charles is one of our best linemen.
Yeah.
He's been on our team forever, and he's playing well.
He's our one solid spot.
Cosme's had a good year.
I think your guards are solid. I just think your center and your tackles are just.
Only your guards are playing well. It doesn't matter. The run games, which I don't know why. Even when we brought in Leno, the first isn't bad.
No, you're good. Keep going.
It's
it fixed itself. We're good.
When Leno came in, Cornelius Lucas was still better than him. And now for some reason, after Leno's played a couple bad years.
Hush.
Corns are
Not
back
you,
up.
Trey. This stupid fucking dog.
Stop it, hush. Corn's the backup, and Wiley from the Chiefs is the worst lineman on our team. And we still won't make the switch. When Corn's done nothing but be solid for us. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that somehow our offensive line has gotten worse over the years. But, I mean, this is something that just makes me feel like our team is just a fucking poverty team, is when we have had absolute stud linemen with us before. We had Trent Williams. We let him walk. We had Brandon Sheriff. let him walk. We have Chase Roulier. We let him walk. Like what is the goal here? You know, our defense is supposed to be our absolute stud. We have wasted, I shouldn't say wasted because a lot of them have been very good picks. Our last 2 first-round picks have been defensive players: Emmanuel Forbes, Jamin Davis.
Forbes, man.
They fucking benched him, dude. I mean, did you see that one play where he just was basically just walked up and just walked around Khalil Herbert? Was like, I'm not going to tackle you.
Dude, I don't know, but I thought I was having a stroke because I was smelling burnt toast while I was watching the game. And I was like, oh shit, it's Forbes from Chicago. I can smell, or Landover, wherever the hell they're playing.
Yeah, they took him out in the second quarter.
I would have
They
too.
benched
He's
him.
playing like ass.
I mean, yeah, he got absolutely dominated by AJ Brown against the Eagles. Yeah, that sucks, but that's not a huge deal. You know, you're going to have some growing pains. You're
As a rookie.
transitioning into the NFL as a rookie cornerback going up against
a very good
stud,
receiver.
right? A stud receiver like AJ Brown, but it absolutely sunk him. And he comes into the Bears game, which is a game you would look at and go, okay, this is my game to have a little bit of redemption.
This is my get back game.
Right, and he just doesn't show it, and they bench him. I think it was smart to bench him. I don't think it's the end for him, obviously, but he needs to get a little. He needs to get a fire lit under his ass, like most of our defense does.
So Trey, where do you think you go from here as a team? What do you do? Sounds like you're starting a lot lower.
Perspective is, I don't think they're good. Is it better now?
Yes, you're good.
Yes,
keep going.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's being all stupid. I don't think they just came in as owners. I don't think they're gonna do a lot of crazy stuff mid-season first year. I'm with it. I would be happy to see that because, like Charlie opened up with, Del Rio's bad. I think it's mostly an ego issue. I think he's capable. I mean, last year our defense was solid. Like, it was a solid defense. But whenever this in Chase Young's second year, I think that was 2021, he had a terrible season before the ACL tear. Because when our front four's there, all the first round picks, he expects them to win their one-on-ones. We don't blitz, and then we play a soft zone. I don't understand, if you have no pressure in a soft zone, how you expect success, but that's how he did it a decade ago. And he's still just his ego with the defense he likes. It's not working. When all the players in that 2021 season started to get hurt, he had to have other position groups help the others. And our backups were all in, and it was a better defense when our starters were there.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're seeing that again. Our front four's all healthy and together. There's nothing creative. They all rush straight, expecting to win their pass rushes. The linebackers are terrible, and then all of our secondary is in a soft zone. Like that first DJ Moore touchdown, we were in cover 2. They attacked the corner. That's the weakness for cover 2, and that's like all he ran. I don't understand it. They ran seams. The Bears play call was perfect against that. The defense we're in, they ran 2 seams on the left side. There's only one safety.
Yep.
You can't cover both.
And that's exactly where the first touchdown came from too, was him just running up a fucking seam.
Yeah, it was perfect. Like, you can't be like, it was perfect. So you run the same soft stuff. Every look you give is the same. You're not mixing stuff up, trying to be creative. It's not going to work. And that's, I think, why the defense looks so bad. Because on paper, like, if you look at our names, it's a good team.
I was about to say, if you look at us position-wise by our players, this is one of the best defenses just on paper that we have had in a very long time. But when they are, 5 weeks into the season, we have one of the lowest blitz rates in the NFL, which is asinine because our linebackers aren't good at pass coverage. Why not blitz them every once in a while? They're not even that good at stopping the block. So why aren't you sending them at least a few times a game? They're not doing that. They're playing off zone constantly against teams that have receivers like AJ Brown, DJ Moore. It's like
Diggs.
right, like if those are receivers that you need to be man on man with. You need to be playing press coverage on those guys because you give them open space, they're going to make the space to get a catch every time. And we saw that in the Buffalo game. Stephon Diggs was absolutely shredding Benjamin St. Juste.
I would just like to point out real quick, Charlie predicted Stephon Diggs would have 3 catches or less. Continue.
Piss off.
I sent Matt a video after I watched it. I was like,
he told me about it.
Like, what?
He told me about that. Yeah, that was not one of my best predictions.
Hey, DJ Moore, though, Trey can tell you, he carried me, man.
Yeah, you had him in fantasy league. Kiss my ass.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I'm in another league, and they didn't start him in that league. He was on his bench, and the dude got blown. It was just, I felt bad for that man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Jack Del Rio, he either needs to change up his game plan or he needs to go. Because if he keeps running this defense the way he is, I mean, it's bad when you have one of the best defenses in the league and you're consistently giving up 30-plus points to horrible teams. I mean, what the Broncos scored 38. The
Broncos scored 31.
31. Who was it? Then the
Eagles scored 34.
The
Bills scored 37.
The Cardinals, they scored
40.
30 something too.
Was
it only 16? Oh, that's right, because we won by a fucking field goal or some shit.
You were there, bro.
I know. I can't remember, dude. There's a lot of information to go through.
I got 2 points on what Charlie just said, if I could jump in.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
The first one, I mean, kind of like what I was talking about with scheming and stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Forbes was solid in man. When he was in college, he was known for ball hawking when he's in man coverage. I am kind of seeing shades of William Jackson when we brought him over from Cincy. Stud man corner.
Mm-hmm.
We bring him in knowing he's better in man. He wasn't great in zone, and we only ran zone. I think that was the 2021 season as well, when Landon Collins was our deep safety against the Chiefs, and William Jackson has to play zone all game when it's not a strong suit. That's how I feel with Kendall too. I've always I believe before the past game, maybe the Eagles game, he had an insanely low QBR rating against him in general, and
he did
when he was in man, and then he got torched up against DJ Moore when we ran zone the whole game.
Yeah, because I remember talking to Matt about this. It was like week 2 or week 3. We were looking specifically at the Commanders secondary. Our highest ranked secondary player was Emmanuel Forbes at the time, but that's because he had 2 really good games to start the season. But the second highest rated one was Kendall Fuller. And we have a bunch of players that just do not do well in zone coverage, yet we are just continuously running soft zone, and it just doesn't make sense. Put these guys in man, put them in a hard zone coverage at least, and I think these guys instantly start to prosper as pass coverage.
It's that, but then also when you're not putting pressure on, you can have the best secondary in the league, and if there's absolutely no pressure, how many times did we just see Fields sit in the pocket? The Bears have no offensive line. They just sat in the pocket. Right. And eventually the ball. And we were lucky. He missed multiple passes when he had all the time in the world. And they still told him.
Yeah, they had more than enough opportunity to score probably 60 plus in that game.
Because we weren't blitzing. But if there's pressure, the ball's got to come out sooner. And that's when your secondary gets a little bit of help. But the other point I was bring up.
No, go ahead, Troy. Go ahead.
We always talked about before the season where we have the defense. We just need the offense to score more than 17 points a game, and our odds of winning are so high. And now we're putting up 30 bombs against a couple pretty good teams. I guess the Eagles really, but we're giving up 30 plus a game at this point. Yeah. We talked about only needing to score more than 20, and we had a good shot at winning the game. And now we can't win when we're actually putting up 30. And it's Ron only did that a couple times in the 3 full seasons he had as our coach, and now that we're doing it, we can't win a game.
Right. Well, the big issue with that is our defense can't get off the field. Dude, our offense is when we put drives together that end in points, it's either a drive that goes like that or we don't put up any points. Our possession time is consistently well below what the other teams is, and our defense is just getting tired.
Right.
A big part of that, I feel, is kind of the play calling that's going on. Eric Bieniemy is an amazing offensive coordinator. I don't understand why it's taking him an entire half of a game to figure out the scheme that's going to work for the team. Like,
Well, I kind of want to jump in on that, and because we're broke and we don't pay for Zoom, I'm gonna kind of transition to the Cowboys after I make this point, if that's cool.
I would like to run down my quick list of stuff. Let Trey run down a quick list, and then we can transfer over to Cowboys.
I'll just wait till the next session because we got less than 9 minutes, so I'll just go ahead and
okay.
take it.
So
take the rest of the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna run down my quick list of what I think is going on with the Commanders. A big thing, Ron Rivera is making bad decisions, especially on fourth downs. Fourth down against the Eagles, we definitely should have just kicked a field goal there. That was a bad decision early on in the game. Fourth down against the Bears, second half of the game, it's a 4th and 3, and we need points to win. And he kicks a fucking field goal. We're on like the 10-yard line, and he kicks a fucking field goal. Like, who makes what? You're down fucking 20 plus. Why are you doing that? It's just, we've seen it multiple times, especially on fourth down. He's just making bad calls for it, and it's just horrendous to look at. It's shooting us in the foot. Moving on to the actual offense, our wide receivers have no oomph, no fire, no nothing. They are all sulking around. Terry McLaurin gets like 2 good catches a game, and he thinks he's hot shit. Antonio Gibson has no fucking hands. He needs to go. I mean, the amount of fumbles and drops, and like they keep having him sit in the pocket to be a blocker, it's asinine. Why are you putting Antonio Gibson in the backfield block? Why are you giving him more touches than Brian Robinson? Put Brian Robinson in the backfield to block. Give Brian Robinson the ball. We let him rush like 7 times, if that, against the Bears. That's asinine. The only people on our offense that are impressing me right now are Sam Howell and, honestly, Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas has been stellar the past couple of games, even when he got drilled in the fucking face by the Broncos.
When he's not asleep on the field.
Hey, he catches touchdowns in his sleep.
Nah, that's George Kittle. Anyways, go ahead, Trey.
So I guess the quick list would be Del Rio's ego, wanting things to be his way and not what our strengths are. He's been doing that the entire time. He's been our coach until the players, our starters, start getting hurt. Like that happens every year, and then he has to change it because it's going to be even worse. So the ego's in the way. I don't see that changing. I think he's capable, but he's not it. Ron, time and time again, like Charlie said, just bad decisions. I love the man. He did a great thing for our organization, help him with that culture change even before Dan was gone. Value Ron because of that. Put him in the front office or something. Don't let him make the decisions on the field, but if you want to keep him in the organization, keep him. I do think he's going to retire here soon. If we had a solid season, he's going to retire. Let AB step in. I'm sure that's the process that they're talking about.
Right.
Because why else would you make him the assistant head coach if you don't plan to make him the head coach? But yeah, the Ron and Del Rio, it's just not working. We need a change. We need our offensive line and linebackers, I think, are our biggest hole. Cosme's showing good signs, and I like Sadiq as well. You got to find some tackles. Got to find tackles. Gibson can't hold on to the football. He could be one of the best players in football. He can run the ball. His vision is great. He can catch the ball. He's had a couple drops recently, but he's been good in the passing game in the past. But if you're fumbling, or if we give you a chance and you're fumbling, it doesn't matter. He needs to go. Time and time again, he proves he can't hold the football. He's got to go. Other than that, linebackers are awful. I was actually kind of excited for Barton coming in from Seattle because he led their team in tackles.
And
I
he's
thought he was
just been
gonna.
kind of meh.
I thought we replaced Cole Holcomb. Cole Holcomb left and went to the Steelers. I know he was kind of injury ridden when he was with us, but I thought we replaced him with Barton, and Barton just watches people. He doesn't go make plays. Holcomb will go through the defensive tackles to make a play, and Barton won't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jamin Davis is just solid, but he's still growing.
Nothing special. He's a backup at best, career long, and he's developed well since his first year. Also because we don't scheme him great.
Right.
Like we
but I hate we used a first round pick on him.
Right. Well, we drafted an athlete at the middle linebacker position, and we want him to be the run stopper. I think if you flip him and Barton in their roles, it might be a little bit better. But last thing, don't give up on the secondary. I know they've been tarnished all year. Derek Forrest, I haven't heard his name much this year. I think he's not having a bad season, but he's not all over the field making plays like he was last year. Cameron Curl's a stud. Kendall Fuller's a stud. Forbes, he's young, he's small. So you have to have a perfect scheme for a guy that's that small. You can't put him up on A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith and expect him to keep up, especially when he's in the zone. I think if we have some coaching adjustments, we're a very solid team, but there's a lot of improvement needed.
Yeah, if we can just change the scheming on defense, I instantly see us being a top 10 defense again, instantly.
Oh, yeah, easily. But, yeah, the offense could be good, but there's no offensive line anymore. He's showing that he could be the guy for us. Of course, he still makes mistakes, but it's his first season starting, and we have amazing receivers that, I don't know. I feel like EB tries to go deep too often. With how bad our offensive line is, we don't go short. We should go short, let those guys, they are fast. Let them make plays.
Right. Our short plays are what win us games. I mean,
which is what we do in the 2 minute, like a 2 minute drill. We start throwing short. We're not going deep on the field like we need to, because then those guys are making plays. Why?
Yeah, like the entire time against the Eagles, we were running short plays and it worked.
Keep it. B-Rob needs run like 18 times a game. I don't care. Right. I don't care how much you're down by. Run B-Rob.
Earlier, I told you that dude was a stud. I told you.
Like, he is so good with how bad our line is, but the guards are good. That's what helps the running game.
Yep.
I swear, every time he touches the ball, it's 5-6 yards down the field. Just about every time. Why don't you run him more? Why? We get behind, and then you can't run the ball anymore.
That's the problem. And that's what I was telling Charlie at the beginning of the year, was like, when you play teams like the Eagles, well, you actually went out in front, but like teams like the Bills, like you can't fall behind like you did to the Broncos 21-3 and expect to come back. Like that's just
that's exactly what I told you after that game.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I told you. You can fall behind against the Broncos, not the Bills.
Not the Bills, not the Eagles. Honestly, I know in the next session I'm about to shit on them a whole bunch, but the Cowboys, because the Cowboys pass rush is ridiculous. Any really good team, I mean, you cannot fall behind.
I mean, the Bears. And we fall behind to the Bears and we just can't claw our way back. Our offense had an amazing second half. They really did. But again, when you go down, what was it? 27-0 or 27-3 at the half?
27-3 at half.
How, if your defense isn't making any stops at all, how do you expect to come back from that? The only reason we even came back against the Broncos is because our defense actually made stops. They can't keep relying on their defense because their defense isn't fucking doing anything.
Yep. All right. Well, we got less than a minute here in this session. Trey, stick around. We'll take a short little 10-minute break here, and then we'll get back on and we'll recap the rest of the NFL.
And hopefully Trey's Wi-Fi decides to join us as well.
Yeah, if you could call the Wi-Fi company and tell them to be better, that would be nice.
Just upgrade for a little bit, right?
Give me about a 30-minute upgrade.
Literally. All right.
We'll see you guys shortly.
This motherfucker, dude.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Newsflash: Matt's a piece of shit.
Look, just because you look like Toe the Panda doesn't mean I'm a piece of shit.
Hey, you can call me fat all you want, but I'm fat and I'll kick your ass.
Look, that's what I'm saying. Toe the Panda.
Literally just literally just mentioned how I love that Kung Fu Panda was on in Charlie's background, and Matt goes, Charlie,
Immediately just
you
shits
try to
on
look
me.
like the Kung Fu Panda.
Look,
Wastes
man.
no time. Every time he wastes
They get-
absolutely no time.
Taking
Look,
shots out of nowhere, man.
I
Every week.
I was
I spent a
getting
solid
ramped
like
up.
5 minutes on here, and he just instantly shits on me.
I was getting ramped up for this Cowboys rant, so I had to watch some Theo Vaughn.
Oh
So
my
I had
God.
to.
You're about to say
Bad
some
idea.
wild stuff, aren't you?
Oh,
That's
the
the worst
Cowboys are
one.
the worst team in the league. Like, they just need to sell the fucking team. They need to disband. Send them to the
Okay.
XFL.
Okay, that's a bit much. I'm not going to say all that. I'll say something close to that, but not all that. That's fair.
Exactly.
Matt's a Cowboys fan, but he's not that Cowboys fan. He's
No,
close.
dude.
Close.
Like I told you guys, like I wasn't going to get excited anymore.
Come here.
It's over.
Oh, you broke your
You've
harness,
lost
you
it.
little fat bitch.
Charlie, you should not talk about yourself.
It's your martini harness. You're bad.
Can you mute yourself so we can fucking do a thing here?
Fuck you.
Jesus Christ.
You shit on me. Now you're getting shit on.
Charlie's
I'm
just trying to
not getting shit on. You called your dog a fat ass. I hate that fucking thing.
Charlie's just trying to get the heat off of him.
You're bad. All right, talk about the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They're just as big a piece of shit as you are.
Agreed. Dude, I agree. You won't hear any fight back from me on this Tuesday. Sorry if I sound a little weird, a little nasal congestion. I was watching the game Sunday night and it made me so fucking sick that I just can't get over it. So first I want to start kind of where you guys were at, leaving off with coaching. Mike McCarthy, this is not 2010, man. You can't run three slants and a go route and expect that to work, dude. You talk about you want to run the ball, you want to establish an identity. You haven't established an identity all fucking year. You haven't had to run an offense because the defense has been stout. And when you have, both times you've been blown off the field by the other team. First was the Cardinals running all over you. You weren't prepared. Now it's the 49ers running all over you. You're not prepared. Every time there's a big game, this team isn't prepared, and it comes down to coaching. I was talking to Trey earlier, and I said that I would give Dak probably about 65% of the blame. While Dak is a big part and probably deserves 50%, Mike McCarthy shoulders a lot of this blame too. I mean, the dude never has his team ready. He doesn't call good plays. I know
you're not going to agree with me, but like you have to. So you can tell me this is a hot take or not. The 49ers, I think, are honestly, this year's 49ers are probably the best football team that's ever lived.
Okay, that's great, but 42-10 is ridiculous.
It is, but you have to cut them some slack.
I don't cut them any slack because they
I'm
talk
just gonna
shit all
say,
week.
At least it wasn't the Bears.
See? Exactly.
Yeah. Look, but that, like, I'm not saying that I'm upset that they lost. Like, I knew
You're upset in the way that they lost.
I picked the 49ers. I'm upset in the way that they lost. I'm upset that they constantly do this. They talk their shit and they get Jerry Jones around them. Michael Parsons gets on his podcast and talks about, oh, we're gonna show them something. All you showed me is that our defense is a bunch of baby back bitches. That's all they are. They're not physical. They cannot stop the run. Jonathan Hankins, you're 400 pounds for what? You just sit there like the fat Tubalard you are.
I mean, you guys are playing soft zone just like we were.
First round draft pick. Where the fuck is he at? He's our first round pick. He doesn't play. I haven't seen him on the field all year. Where's he at? The only motherfucker that tried the whole game until he literally almost broke his neck was Leighton Vander Esch. He's the only dude that tried the whole game. Dak in the third and fourth quarter was throwing picks and laughing. The dude is laughing walking off the field. He's laughing as he's walking off the field. After he threw his last one, I read his lips. He said, yeah, we're done. No shit, you're done. You're down by 30 because you fucking suck, Dak Prescott.
Yeah, if we want to be honest here, the 49ers could have scored again, too.
The 49ers could have put up 65 easily. I've tried to defend Dak. I've tried to be like, like he's not that bad. He's a top 12 quarterback, but I can't defend this dude anymore. Not when I watch 2 of his 3 picks, he takes the ball, sets his foot, and that whole time he's staring down one receiver. It's like he has one read, and if that read's not open, he's like, "Fuck it, I'm throwing it anyways."
It's like college ball.
It's literally like college or high school quarterbacking. The dude's a 4th-round pick. That's all he's ever been. He's not good. I've never seen him look off a safety. I've never seen him look off a linebacker. I've never seen him do anything that would be like, this guy can lead us to a Super Bowl. If Jerry Jones extends this dude, I'm done. Like I'm just gonna watch football for fun.
Let me ask you a dumbass question. Who are you taking, Dak Prescott or Sam Howell? Who would you rather have as your quarterback right now?
Sam Howell.
Damn.
I mean, to that point, with Dak's always had a good offensive line.
Dak's always had everything, and he can't do it.
Sam has had 5 games with
the worst offensive line ever.
And the poise he shows, I mean, we can't say he's great. He hasn't lived up to anything yet. It's so early in his career, but there's promise. He looks good, but
I mean,
and there's promise on the Commanders team for the last.
Dude, this dude sucks, man. And then this defense, it's supposed to be generationally great. It's great when you play shit teams like the Giants or the Jets or the Patriots. But the second you face a team that comes out and is like, "I'm going to smack you in the mouth and see how you respond," it's like they cower away. It's like, "Oh, we don't want to stop the run." Oh,
I was surprised to see. I was surprised to see Dan Quinn kind of call a conservative game, because normally he's a little bit more aggressive.
Right, especially on somebody like the 49ers. You can't play soft zone against somebody like the 49ers. You need to be after them all goddamn game.
We didn't have the personnel. They're just better than us. That's
what
it comes down to. Position
that's fair.
They're better than us.
I think it does also show how much Trayvon Diggs has missed.
Yes, I agree.
I like to shit on Diggs, mostly just because, like, the big stat everyone talks about, he had all these picks, but he was getting burned. Last year, he proved everyone wrong. And he was less talked about last year than he was when he got all the picks, because he wasn't flashy. He got trashed on that year that he had the insane amount of picks. And last year, he was shut down, and no one talked about him. And
last year, he was locked down, and the first 2 games of this year, he was locked down.
And he got hurt,
and now locked down.
Right. You can tell his presence is instantly missed on the field.
Charlie and I were talking when it happened. We were like, I mean, I think he'll be missed, but I don't think it'll be like the end of the world.
Because
right now, it looks like the end of the world.
Yeah,
he's missed 3 games, and in 2 of them, they've gotten blown off the field. Now, again, I don't put all the blame on Dak, but God, dude, you got to figure it out.
I mean, it's hard not to when they have. I mean, he had 3 turnovers and Tony Pollard had a fumble. I mean, the game against the Bills.
Like I said, they just come out and they're not ready to play. When it matters, these dudes are not ready to play. Being a Cowboys fan is probably the greatest life lesson that you can ever have, actually. Because it's like, whenever you think things are going right, life's going to fuck you. Whenever you think the Cowboys
that got a little depressing, Matt.
They're going to fuck you. And it's true. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you've had more promise than Trey and I have had. I haven't seen a playoff win since I've been alive.
That's what drives you insane, though. And it drives you nuts. You're like, dude, these guys are good. These guys should be winning playoff games. And every year. Every fucking year.
I'd rather have a good team in the regular season and shit the bed in the playoffs. I haven't seen a good football team my entire lifetime.
Yeah. We had one good season with RG3. One.
And then a decent one with Kirk. And that's about it.
I think in your spot, 1 or 2 good years like that would be like, damn, we're good. But then if it happened for 3 or 4 or 5, 6,
I would take it over this.
I would 100% take it over this.
Well, because our promise we see is the off season. We might be
but that's fun.
We could be decent. It's off season, and then week 1 comes around and we barely beat Joshua Dobbs and the Cardinals with Dobbs being a week.
Do not shit on the alopecia assassin.
You know who didn't
telling
beat
you.
The Cardinals? You know who didn't beat the Cardinals? The Cowboys.
So, by process of elimination or whatever,
we're better.
The Commanders are better than the Cowboys.
Probably. So I want to ask a serious question. If Cooper Rush was the starting quarterback, would the Cowboys have any worse of a record than they do right now?
No.
Probably not.
If Kenny Pickett was the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, would they have any worse of a record than they do right now?
Yes.
I
Nope.
don't think so. I think Pickett's just Matt Canada. I'm just gonna blame it all on him. I mean, the
Okay.
one
If
we'll
Zach
talk about it later,
Wilson,
but the one audible, the Randy audible, and Matt Canada's just
yeah, he's like, but
But I don't like him just because his name's Kenny. It's a dumbass name.
if Zach Wilson was the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, would they have any worse record than they do right now?
No.
that's where I would
I
say
like Zach Wilson.
potentially. I do too. He needed time
He
behind
needs some
Aaron.
time.
He needs to
Hear
develop.
me out, Trey.
Now,
In
I
all
don't-
the games that the Cowboys have won, they've scored 14 points on defense. All he's got to do is hand the ball off, make a couple throws, they
Yeah.
win.
because that's all. That's honestly all it. Through like the first 3 games, I was like, Dak hasn't done much.
He hasn't
like-
done shit.
They look great. I was like,
And I was just happy because he wasn't throwing picks.
right.
And in this game, I'm like, oh, all right, come on, Dak, we need you. Here he goes again. Same old fucking Dak Prescott,
Jesus
letting you
Christ.
down.
Charlie, earlier I texted Matt and I was like, hey, it's like we were talking about how like the play calling's kind of been bad, like McCarthy's just not doing it. I was like, this sounds like a crazy question, but do you miss Kellen Moore? I was like, is that possible? Do you miss him? And he was like, no, still.
I don't miss him because it's the same. Like it's the same result, just in a different manner. Like the Cowboys would be high flying, scoring on offense, but Dak would still be throwing the picks. He would
Yeah,
still
but
be
when you-
costing us the game in a different way.
But
It's
that's
just
so-
too
but
different.
that's the difference though. He's like he still makes those mistakes, but the defense hasn't looked like this when your offense was high scoring and everywhere. Like Kellen Moore,
Yeah.
like yeah, Dak messed up a lot, but they were a big time vertical offense, and Dak did fairly well on it, other than his mistakes. But their defense was
15
never good.
interceptions.
Yeah, but the defense was never good. Now, like this year, like yeah,
Well, I
the
don't
Niners
know.
are the Niners. dude.
Last
I
year
like
the
their
defense
defense.
was pretty good.
I
Okay.
think they're not better this year though, or at least take out the Niners
No.
game.
Not without Trayvon Diggs.
That's fair.
I don't think you do it with Trayvon Diggs. But
We
let
can
me
move on
ask.
now.
Let me
I've
ask.
got my- I've got
I
my
want to ask
strategy
you a
out.
question first, though.
Okay.
I've got Dak Prescott's season stats pulled up so far this season.
Sorry, you just want to give me a fucking aneurysm.
No, because honestly, this is coming from a Commanders fan. I never thought Dak Prescott was really a bad quarterback
He's not
I-
bad. He's just
until I
not.
start comparing his stats to other quarterbacks. So I'm not going to tell you who I'm comparing him to right now.
Blind
Yeah.
comparison. I love it.
Josh Allen.
Dak, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and a
1,000
QBR,
yards in 5 games.
of
Yeah.
65.
Okay.
Now I'm going to read off these next set of stats, and I want you to tell me who I'm comparing him to.
Josh Allen.
1,350 yards, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a 48 QBR.
Zach Wilson.
No.
Russell Wilson. I don't know.
Sam Howell.
Yes, dude, I would take Sam. I told you I would take Sam.
Well, so
He's younger,
minus
he's
the
cheaper, and he's better.
minus the QBR rating, which honestly, if it wasn't for the Bills game, his QBR would be a lot higher. The Bills game, I want to think was just a blip, but the fact that somebody like Sam Howell, who against the Bills had, I don't even think 150 yards passing, didn't have a single touchdown. How is somebody like Sam Howell, who's routinely at this point getting sacked enough to break the season record, have more yards and more touchdowns than Dak Prescott?
Because Dak Prescott is not good, and the defense has scored 2 touchdowns in 3 of the games.
I mean-
That's what I was about to say. He honestly, even if they like didn't look bad, especially like against the Niners, it is the Niners. He's still he hasn't had to do anything to win games. It hasn't been on him. They have Tony Pollard's had a solid year, and the defense
Like I
has
said,
gotten touchdowns every game just about. You don't have to
Yes.
do anything.
Trey is making my point. The 2 times we've been like, the defense just don't have it today. Dak, we kind of need you to get us there.
Yeah.
1, Niners, okay, cool, we lose. I think we probably should have scored more than 10 points. Okay,
Yes.
we lose. I don't feel bad about that. The Cardinals, though,
That's bad.
Dak, you can't get it done against the Cardinals, dude. Like, come on, man.
But that's one thing I want to compare him. So if you're talking about comparing stats, Dak's always had solid stats. He's always up there. Who, as a Commanders fan, who does that remind you of? Is always near the top of the stats, but can't win you big games.
Kirk
Cousins.
Cousins. I'd take Kirk
He is
over Dak
he.
right now.
Dak Prescott is Kirk. I think Kirk Cousins is playing the best he's ever played. Like
I
these
would take Kirk
couple
Cousins
seasons,
one
he's
for
played
one.
well.
If we swapped, I would take it.
But
If
he's
If you
Jerry can
swap
do
for
it,
Kirk Cousins, you guys are instantly NFC first seed. Instantly.
he's literally Dak
I don't
Prescott.
know if it makes
is
that
Kirk-
big of a difference, but
He's Dak Prescott's Kirk Cousins when he was on the Commanders. He was always at the top statistically, and yet we like hardly ever had a winning season.
I'd take Jared Goff. I would pay
I
Jared
like
Goff my paycheck. It's for him to be our quarterback. It wouldn't be
I
much.
like
but
Goff.
shit.
I mean, so let me ask you this. Right now, where do you put Dak Prescott in your quarterback rankings?
16 to 20. Somewhere in there.
Wow.
You can maybe sneak in 15, but it really depends. Like, cause I mean, Dak's gonna
I mean,
play.
we can go through it.
In the games you really don't need him to. Dak's gonna play well. He always does. That's why he's always near the top statistically. This year it hasn't been a thing because they haven't needed him to go throwing the ball, and then the 2 times they have, like
Right. I mean that's
it's not
something that
happening.
you got to think of. I'm sure with these games where they're scoring more on defense, they're probably playing more conservatively.
You don't have to play aggressively.
Right.
Because why
Why
would you
put it up to
Pollard.
turn it
why would
over?
why would you trust Dak Prescott to do anything?
You have Tony Pollard in that offensive line. If you don't need Dak Prescott, you're not going to use him. You
Right.
should.
Dak Prescott is in like the Deshaun Watson, Derek Carr range. He's not good.
That's fair. I don't
I'm
know.
tired
You
of
gotta-
defending him. I'm done. It's over.
I
Sorry,
mean,
Dak.
I'm
You
kind of
lost
starting to
me.
get on the same page as you because I was not one of those people that was like Dak Prescott's trash. Dak Prescott doesn't deserve to be a starter. Like I was, I know I'm a Commanders fan, but also you being a Cowboys fan, I know I'm supposed to hate you guys, but I never want to see you guys do bad just because I know it affects your mental health.
It does.
I told Matt this the
Apparently,
other
my
day.
physical health too. I'm sick.
I told Matt this, I think earlier this season. I was like, love you to death, Matt, but I hope your Cowboys lose every game. I don't care about your mental health for football. I want the Cowboys to freaking lose.
Dude, at this point, I don't give a shit. I just can't wait for basketball season. I can't wait for the Nuggets to start playing. Even when they lose, they bring me joy, dude. You can't not root for Nikola Jokic. Anyways, we don't talk about that. But I've moved on to basketball season. And these boys, we're winning the Big 12. Book it.
Book it? Book it. West
Write it
Virginia,
down.
we're in Big 12.
October 10th, 8:22 p.m. Yeah, we can talk about. I'm done. I can't. I'm gonna get a hernia if we keep talking about the Cowboys.
Let's talk about the Jags for a second.
Hey, that's my Super Bowl pick. They look good.
They look good. I wouldn't say they look fucking phenomenal, but they look solid. I watched
Trevor
that
Lawrence
game
just has
Sunday
to hold
morning.
on to the ball. But if
Yeah.
he can cut down on the fumbles, they look good. They
Yeah,
did have the
they're
advantage.
solid. They're just moving the ball down the field against the Bills. They look
And they did
great.
have the advantage because they'd been there for a week, and the Bills got their flight Friday, which is stupid. Why would you fly
And
to London?
At this point,
London, a
London,
6-hour time difference 2 days before the game. That's stupid. But
And it-
also, like, when you lose Matt Milano for the season in the first quarter and you lose other defenders throughout the game, I mean, it's going to be tough.
What was it? Esperada?
I don't know, something like that.
They're one of his like backup linebackers.
Yeah.
Espa something. He was out there. He showed the fuck out when Milano left the field, which is great
Bills
for the
are always
Bills.
Good
But
on defense.
fuck the Bills entirely. I hate the Bills with a passion. I hate the team. I hate their fan base. Besides our friend from Morgantown.
this is what 1 week will do to you, man. They dismantle us, and you hate the entire franchise.
I've always hated the
Yeah,
Bills.
good Lord.
I've always hated
How do you
them.
hate the Bills? They just
How do
sit
you-
up there in Buffalo and do nothing.
How do you hate a team that's like sucked since the 90s?
Since
I don't
their
like
Cowboys
Josh
have been
Allen.
good.
I don't like Josh Allen.
Okay, Trey and I have this argument all the time. He's not a top 5 quarterback. I don't care what
No.
you say.
He's not.
I don't
And
know.
everybody thinks he's the
This-
shit, and I hate him.
What's funny is that I always defended Josh Allen. Right now, I get fantasy football. He's the number one ranked quarterback, and I think he's sucked this year.
Yeah, I mean,
I
Dude,
don't.
I mean,
don't.
literally, like up until who'd they beat week 4?
Miami.
Miami. Up until week 4, I was on this train of Josh Allen does not look good. Like, yeah, he's winning games. Yeah, he's putting up stats, but for some reason, he just doesn't look good.
Because people love him.
hate him. I loathe
Okay.
him.
I don't have this deep-rooted hatred for him that Charlie does, but he turns the ball
You know
over
what
too
the
much.
thing that
He's
pisses
way
me
too
off about
reckless
him?
with the ball.
The Verizon commercial.
Jesus, dude.
He just shows up out of a bush. It's creepy. It's weird. I don't fucking like the guy.
All right, so for some real analysis, Ray, I think he just turns the ball over too much. He's just too.
He's reckless.
He's too reckless.
I think he's considered top 3 because when he's playing well, it's like Pat Mahomes. He gets glazed by the media because he makes all these crazy plays. He's Patrick Mahomes right there. Like he makes plays like Pat does. But when you turn the ball over that much, that's when it
Right.
kind of
And he makes
drops
plays where he's lucky up until this point that he hasn't had a serious injury.
right.
I don't
Dude.
wish an injury on anybody. I don't like Josh Allen in the least bit. I do not wish any kind of injury on him whatsoever.
But hurdling
He's
over
gonna
3
get himself
defenders
hurt.
when you're 8 yards from the first down, just slide, dude. What are you doing?
Dude just spams triangle all the time. He goes running. And he's
Literally.
like, but no, he's just reckless. I mean, he
That's
makes,
part of the
but
reason
that's
I
what
don't
he
like
makes
him
up
so
for it.
much.
But the team is so good; they're always in a shot, and he's kind of got a clutch gene in him. But when you're putting your team in the situation in the first place that you could
Right.
potentially win the game, him being reckless is why they haven't won a Super Bowl and they're potentially past their window. Now that the Bengals aren't looking great, maybe they got a shot if someone can upset the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But the Jags look nasty right now. I think there's a 4th team in the AFC. There's a 4th team in the AFC, and that's, I think, closed the Super Bowl window for the Bills. Which we talked about this. I was high on them too. I really like them. I thought they were going to be better than they have been this year. They're still playing great, but I thought they were going to be even better. Like I was putting them up with the Chiefs and Bengals coming.
I mean, they lost to the Texans, but if we could stop there for a second, CJ Stroud is that dude.
Good.
Oh yeah.
CJ Stroud is that dude. I mean, they lost this week, but like, he is that dude. Like, he is good. Like, they got their quarterback. Like, they're good. They're good.
Not a single pick this entire season.
We're gonna jinx.
He broke the record. Oh yeah, now
He smashed the record. It's not close anymore.
Yeah,
He smashed it.
destroyed it. You know who did have the record?
Dak. The
Yep.
GOAT.
Stop.
Aha. CJ Stroud got drafted
CJ got Stroud.
2023, right?
Yeah, he's
a rookie.
He's rookie of the year. Offensive rookie of the year.
going. I mean, just because he's a quarterback, unless Bijan puts up like 1,800 yards, which he won't.
Right. I mean, he's having an exceptional season, but
yes,
CJ Stroud, I mean,
but he's a quarterback for a team that people didn't think were going to win more
Right.
than 3 or 4 games. I'll admit, I was one of those people. I didn't think they were going to win more than 3 or
right.
4
I mean,
games.
you saw my analysis at the beginning of the season. I literally said, "What? Like, who is this?
Yeah.
What is this team?" But a
You know who's
rookie
been-
quarterback that is absolutely turning a team around brings me into our next point. Your boy AR-15,
AR-5 now.
AR-5. What, he changed
Yeah, he's
numbers?
Yeah, he was 15 and 4. He's 5 now, but he's hurt.
He is hurt, but holy shit, the Colts, they're like kind of in it.
Even with Gardner, I think the Colts are solid, but
I
Anthony
love
Richardson,
Gardner Minshew.
I do too. He's just fun.
When he
solid,
went into free
he's a
agency, I wish
baller.
we had picked him up. I really do.
Well, if you pick
Dude.
up Gardner Minshew, you just have a more experienced Taylor Heineke. Like that's the play style. Like
Yes.
Now I know where Charlie got the porn stash from. Now I know why he did it.
He doesn't have one. He's got like a
He
goatee going. Did he?
he had one at one
I remember
point.
the goatee.
Oh, he had one.
Um,
And it
See, I was shooting
fucking
more for
nice.
Travis Kelce with this.
back to Anthony Richardson.
Yeah,
He plays exactly like Josh Allen, and he doesn't know how to go down like Josh Allen, and he's gotten hurt twice in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I know that's what I'm scared about, man.
But that was RG3 in 2012, and then ever since then he couldn't slide. Like
Right, like
I swear he had 5 concussions his rookie year because he wouldn't slide. He just
right. I
kept.
mean, we
And the
love
sprained
the
MCL.
playmaking. We love the laying it out all out. But nowadays, with how fast these people are, how big they are, how prone everybody is to injury, you have to play to keep yourself healthy.
Yep.
You're not doing anything for your team if, yeah, 3 games
Not
I'm
on the
putting up
field.
200 plus passing and 2 touchdowns, but then I'm out for 2 games because I'm being reckless and getting fucking hurt.
That's what I thought about Lamar. Lamar's had what 2 for sure. What 3 seasons he's gotten hurt just because
I know at least these last 2.
Just 2. But
Yeah.
no, but if the thing with Richardson, it's if you have to, like if it's a necessity you have to get that first down or you have to whatever, do it. But if you're just running the ball, like I'm pretty sure when his shoulder strained, didn't he get tackled at the line of scrimmage? I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he rolled out to the right and got tackled there. Like just give yourself up. It's not
Like, I'm not gonna lie, when he got his concussion week 2, at least he was scoring a touchdown.
right.
Like, at least it
Right.
wasn't like
I mean,
3rd and 8 and he was only getting 2 yards. Like, at least it was a touchdown.
right. If you can do it,
But-
do it, but don't hang yourself out to dry. You know, that's I don't want to go back to the Commanders, but that's something I really like about Sam Howell. He knows usually when he needs to run, and he's not reckless about it. He goes down when he can, and he will reach for a first down sometimes, but he does it in a way where he's not getting slammed. He's not
Yep.
getting absolutely fucking bull rushed. It's just knowing when to pick your battles.
You're right. I still wish he slid a little bit more because I mean, but it's how bad our team is. He kind of has to. He's got to put him on his back.
Right.
The one breakout run he had, I was screaming, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away because it did not look good, and he just needed to get it out. And then he squeezed out, and I'm immediately going, "Don't throw it, run!" Like I just was screaming.
Yeah, his
But it's
sense in
something-
the pocket is usually incredible.
good.
I can't remember if it was
It's good.
against the Eagles or the Bears, but the left side broke down. He couldn't even see the DN coming at him, and he just ducked and spun out from a sack.
He's good at it.
Yeah.
He does take some hits that I don't like seeing him take. And I think there have been a few games where people are kind of going after him. Like there have been some players that are going after him.
Oh yeah, I don't understand it. Like people going after him out of bounds.
Like the dude was in his first like what did we play Cardinals week 1? Was that week?
yeah,
1?
it was literally the
They were
first
targeting
drive,
him. He's
and
played 1 game. I was like,
Yeah.
you scared of him already? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Real quick, I would like to say karma is a bitch, Sean Payton. And before you talk
awesome.
about how bad other people's coaching jobs are, maybe look in the mirror because your coaching job is shit. It's been bad. I'm so I've never rooted for the Jets in my life until this weekend, and I'm so happy they won. Sean Payton, fuck off. Russell Wilson, you're not good anymore. Go home. That's kind of all I have to say about that one. But I did want to bring that up because I am very happy for Matt Hackett that they got that win.
No, yeah, that was definitely awesome. But I think Sean thought Russell still had some juice left. And I thought he it's got to get the team's got potential, but I mean they lost 2 receivers for the year before the season even started.
Well, that and like you talk about a shitty coaching job, dude. You took a top 10 defense to the worst defense in the league. Like you're doing a shitty coaching job.
Right. No, he hasn't done good, but I think he thought he had more than he did, at least with the offense.
Yeah.
you
but
want
it's
to know
just-
who Russ is better than?
Fuck off. I already
Dude,
knew
he's
the
actually not
answer.
having a bad season. He's 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, but he's just one of those guys that like you can tell is a douche, and you just want them to lose. Like you just want them.
Oh no,
to
I
lose.
agree. Fuck
He
the
had his
Broncos.
own
Fuck almost
office
everybody
last
on
year.
that team.
He had his own office, and on the
Dude,
Seahawks, none
if I was on that,
none of his teammates had his phone number when he was a
Dude,
Seahawk.
if
he's-
I was on that plane when he was doing high knees last year, I would have knocked the shit out of him. I'd be like, dude, I'm trying to sleep. We're going to London. You need to sit the fuck down. We
I
have 3
forgot
more hours
about
on this
that.
plane. I'm gonna knock the shit out of you. Sit down.
I forgot about that. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Um, I guess we can go ahead and get into some picks
Yeah, I literally
for this
just
week.
pulled them up. I think we actually have a lot of really good games this week. I am really looking forward to them. Matt, do you want to run through our picks for week 5 real quick?
Did you count them up or no?
I haven't counted them up. You just want me to make a short about it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. So I want to keep track of these because we're going to figure something out, but losers got to do something stupid. And Trey, you are joining us for this.
Sounds good.
We'll do winning percentage since Trey will only be on a couple times probably.
That's fair. All right. Thursday night. Shit game. Broncos Chiefs. I know who we're all
Chiefs.
picking for that.
Chiefs.
That's bad.
I'm not gonna watch. I'm gonna be watching WB.
Yeah, there's no point in even watching that. All right,
5-1,
Sunday
bitch.
we got another international game. Ravens Titans. Is that one going to be in London or is that going to be in Germany?
I don't care.
Fair.
I think I'm taking the Ravens.
Matt.
Who you got, Trey?
I'm going Ravens. I think it's going to be a really close game, but I think the Ravens edge them out.
All right. Yeah, probably. So Ravens is what I mean by probably.
Yeah. It took me a second. I was like, is he gonna fucking say it? This is another shit game. Panthers Dolphins.
Dude,
Blowout.
Dude, I hope H-Chain
Wow.
comes back. I got him in fucking fantasy in the league, and I need him to come back. Anyway,
He's going to be gone a few weeks.
All right.
Yeah,
You don't even have to
Gonna be
answer that
gone
one.
a few weeks.
This I think is going to be a somewhat decent game. Saints Texans.
That's a good game. That's
Texans
a
by
good
20.
game. I got the Texans.
Texans.
Texans are at home. Texans.
Yeah, we haven't disagreed on a single pick yet.
We will, don't worry. I'm sure we will.
Commanders Falcons.
Falcons. There we go. Disagreement.
All right, Trey, do you think the Commanders are going to come out with a fire under your ass or do you think they're going to come out stale?
I mean, when we got blown out by the Bills, we came through with what seemed to be an actual game plan, and we about beat the reigning NFC champs. This is another. I mean, the Falcons' defense isn't great. It's another kind of Bears thing. Do we come into a team that's like kind of middle of the pack and play to their level again? Probably. I do think we're gonna win though. I honestly do. Like the last week was bad. But normally, if we have that bad of a game, we come out and play decent. So it's at least going to be close.
All right,
You got extra rest too.
Yeah, we got to run through the rest of these because we don't have a lot of time. Colts Jags. Fuck. Give
Jags.
me. Is Anthony Richardson playing?
No, I don't think so. That's an AC joint issue, but yeah,
Okay. Yeah, then give me the Jags.
Who is your Commanders Falcons pick, Charlie?
Oh, Commanders.
Figured, but
I think we're going to come out with a fire under our ass. I hope.
I hope so.
Right. This might be a good game. Seahawks Bengals. I'm taking the Seahawks.
I'm gonna go Bengals on that one. I don't know, that connection looked like it had a spark again.
Me too.
What the hell is T Higgins, man? Like he's
hurt.
He's hurt now?
Yeah, he didn't play last week.
Stall Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, but he was still good. But
this is a shit game. Vikings Bears. Vikings.
Okay, so fuck.
Vikings. No Jettas.
Actually, give me the Bears. Justin Fields looked good. He's got some confidence. He's got a couple extra days. He played on Thursday. Now he's got 10 days to recover. Give me the Bears.
He's still
As long as he throws the ball to DJ Moore 90% of his attempts,
I'm good.
Right.
Be fine.
All right. 49ers Browns. God.
49ers. They might go undefeated, dude.
They could.
Another shit bowl. Patriots Raiders. Give me the Raiders.
That's a Raiders
Patriots
blowout.
are so bad, dude.
That's a Raiders.
They're tanking for Caleb Williams. They have to be.
Lions Bucks. This is actually going to be a good game.
Give me the
Lions.
Bucks.
I'm taking the Lions.
I like the I love the Lions, but I like the Bucks. Is Mike Evans healthy? Is he okay? Is he playing?
I have no idea. It don't change my mind either way.
I'm going Bucks on that one.
I'm gonna stick with the Lions. Cardinals, Rams. I think this is going to be a sneaky good game.
Rams
but-
will win now.
I'm taking the Rams.
I'm gonna go Rams too. Well, James Conner's out now.
Yep.
So
Oh yeah, Rams.
it's on Dobbs.
God, Eagles, Jets. Give me the fucking
Eagles.
Eagles.
It'll be closer than you think with Eagles.
I
The
don't
Eagles
think
have
it's
been
going to
sneaking
be.
by so far this year.
Giants, Bills. God.
Bills. That's a
Bills.
Sunday night game too. Daniel Jones probably isn't playing. He hurt his neck last week.
God. All right. Monday night, we actually have what I think is going to be a good Monday night football game. Cowboys and Chargers.
Go ahead, Matt.
Chargers.
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 The Chargers defense played really well last week.
And
Or
well,
week before their bye.
they're coming off a bye too. So.
Fresh.
That's rough, but we finished with just enough time to get the outro
Trey,
going.
thank you so much, man. We
Yep,
appreciate
loved having
coming
you on. Gonna
We'll
bring you on
we'll have
more.
to have you
for
back.
sure.
We get better Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we'll
thanks for
try my
coming on,
best,
man.
but anytime, man.
It was
Appreciate
better
you.
this time. It was a lot better.
It
this
was.
time, so.
But
All right,
good night, everybody.
Charlie,
Thank you.
your Orioles are getting swept right now. Have
Kiss
a good
my
night,
ass.
everybody. Have a good
Kiss my
night.
ass.
Bye bye.
Good night, everyone.